Some men don't need a mask to become monsters. They just need a badge. They called him a real cop. Old school. Tough. The kind of officer who gets things done. Officer Cole Briggs. In the reports, he was always on the right side. Resisted arrest. Suspect acted aggressively. Reasonable force. The first time I heard his name, it wasn't from the news. It was from a death certificate. My friends. He was stopped on his way home one night. No weapons. No record. No reason. He died on the pavement with his hands behind his back. The report said. He suffered a medical emergency during the arrest. Inner voice, a heart attack. On the ground. With a knee on his neck. His mother tried to press charges. She filed complaints. She called stations. She knocked on doors. Every door closed. Internal affairs. No sufficient evidence of wrongdoing. Witnesses. Too scared or could not be located. Body cam footage. Malfunctioned. It was an accident. That's what they called it. But Briggs didn't act like it was an accident. He smiled in the hearing. He joked with other officers in the hallway. He walked out with a pat on the back. Officer. Some people just can't handle pressure, he said. He wasn't talking about himself. For most people, that was the end. They went home. They learned to be afraid of the lights and sirens that were supposed to protect them. But I didn't go home. I stayed close. Inner voice. If the law won't investigate him, I will. I started with the complaints. Old news articles. Online comments. Rumors. He threw my brother against a wall for asking a question. He made me sit on the curb for an hour in the rain. He said if I filed a report, he'd remember my face. Always the same neighborhood. Always the same officer. Always the same words. Stop resisting. I found a man with a scar along his jaw. He told me his story in a quiet bar. Man. He pulled me over for a broken taillight. That's what he wrote anyway. I asked why he was searching my car. Next thing I know, I'm on the ground face first. I asked what happened after. Man, I got a resisting arrest charge. He got a commendation. I asked why he never took it further. He laughed. Man, against a cop? The cop? No thanks. I like breathing. The pattern was always the same. Minor reason. Major reaction. No witnesses that survived with a voice loud enough. On paper, he was a hero. In real life, he was a ghost story people whispered to each other. Don't argue with Briggs. Don't look him in the eye. Don't be out when he's on nights. Inner voice. Fear can do more than any weapon. I watched him on patrol. He loved the night shift. Dark streets. Empty sidewalks. No phone cameras out of windows. He cruised slowly, like he was shopping. Sometimes he stopped someone. Sometimes he didn't. The reason didn't matter. The control did. One night, he pulled a young guy from his car for not using a turn signal. He kept him there for nearly 40 minutes. Hands on the hood. Legs spread. Questions repeated. Officer, you nervous? Got something to hide? Guy, no, sir. Officer, then why are you shaking? Because you're holding the gun. That's why. I recorded everything from the shadows. Not just that night. Many nights. I found another woman, a cashier at a late-night store. She told me, cashier, he comes in, doesn't buy anything. Just stares at us. Taps his baton on the counter. Says things like, quiet night so far. Be a shame if that changed. He didn't have to hit anyone. His presence hit enough. Inner voice. He built an entire neighborhood around his fear. The more I saw, the more I understood something important. He didn't just use his badge to hurt people. He used it to stay safe. Any complaint, retaliation, any witness, intimidation, any camera, accidental damage. So if I wanted to get to him, I couldn't come at him head on. I had to come from under him. I started by following his routes. I memorized his habits. He always took the same alley shortcut to the station parking lot at the end of his shift. He always stopped at the same diner on Thursday nights. Same booth. Same coffee. He parked his patrol car in the same corner spot, where the cameras didn't quite reach. He felt untouchable there. One Thursday, I sat 2 tables behind him, hood up, head down. He never looked back. He laughed with another officer. Officer 2. Heard you had to sit on some kid again. Briggs, he got chatty. I helped him rethink his attitude. They laughed. I smiled too, but for a different reason. Inner voice. If he thinks pain teaches lessons, maybe he needs a new teacher. I didn't want to kill him. Death would make him a story, a rumor, a whispered legend. I wanted something else. I wanted him to live in a world where his badge no longer protected him, where his name didn't equal fear. where the lights in his rearview mirror meant the same thing they meant for everyone else: danger. So I built a file. Like always. Not just on him, but on the people around him. The officer who always laughed at his jokes. The sergeant who signed off his reports. The internal investigator who stamped cleared every time. I collected video. Late-night stops. Street corner harassment. Unnecessary shoves. The way his hand always went to his weapon when someone dared to ask why. I edited it together. Not like a documentary. Like a pattern. Officer Briggs. Officer Briggs again. Officer Briggs again. Different nights. Different people. Same face. Same tone. Officer, stop resisting. Officer, you want to keep talking? Officer, you really want to make this worse? Inner voice. Let the world hear how he sounds when he thinks no one is listening. But that wasn't enough. I needed him alone. So one night, when he was near the end of his shift, I called it in. A report of shots fired in an abandoned industrial block. No other units available. Just him. He sped there. Sirens off as he got close. He liked to surprise people. He got out of the car, hand resting on his gun, eyes scanning the shadows. There were no shots. Just silence. And then light. His own dashboard camera feed flickered to life on a portable projector leaning against a concrete wall. He saw himself, kneeling on someone's back, years ago. His voice filled the empty lot. Officer, on video, stop resisting. Voice on video, I can't breathe. His hand froze on the holster. More footage. Another stop. Another person. Officer, on video, if you file a complaint, I'll remember your face. His real face twisted. Officer, who's there? Turn that off. I stepped out from behind a rusted metal pillar, far enough that he could see me, close enough that he couldn't ignore me. Me. You like when people can't turn things off, right? He aimed his flashlight at me. Officer, turn around. Hands where I can see them. I didn't move. Me. Is that how it starts every time? He moved closer. Officer, you just admitted to sending a false call. That's a crime. Me. So is most of your career. The projector kept playing. Clip after clip. His voice bouncing off concrete. Officer, on video, you want to walk away tonight? Then shut up. He lunged for the projector. I let him grab it. It didn't matter. I wasn't streaming from there. I was streaming from his own car. His dash cam. His body cam. The feeds he thought were dead. He had turned them off. A long time ago. He didn't know someone had turned them back on. Officer, you think anyone will care? You think they haven't seen worse? Me. They haven't seen it all together. With your name under every clip. On his patrol car laptop, a progress bar was moving. Uploading to public server. He ran back to the car, swearing, typing. He pulled the cable. Slammed the laptop shut. Ripped out hardware. It was too late. The upload was already mirrored. Inner voice, you can't choke a signal. Officer, what did you do? Me. I put you back on camera. I heard the distant sound of other sirens now. Not his. His radio crackled. Dispatch. Unit 12, we are receiving multiple copies of your live feed. Confirm status. He grabbed the radio. Officer, this is Briggs. My system has been compromised. His voice cut off. Not because of me. Because someone at the station had killed his channel. He looked up at me. For the first time, he looked small. Officer, do you know what happens to people who go after cops? Me. Do you know what happens to cops when the public sees what you really are? I stepped back into the shadows. He aimed his gun for a second. Then we both heard it. Other engines. Other cars. Not from his precinct. From somewhere higher. They didn't come with smiles. Investigations. Oversight. People who had pretended not to see him before now had their own careers on the line. The footage went everywhere. News. Social media. Phones glowing in the dark. He faced hearings. Suspensions. An internal review made for cameras this time. He said the usual words. Officer, my life was in danger. I followed protocol. The footage is taken out of context. People had heard that before. Too many times. This time, they had context. Years of it. He wasn't in prison. Not yet. Maybe not ever. But he didn't patrol those streets again. His name was no longer a whispered warning in the neighborhood. It was a curse in the headlines. He moved away. He kept his life. He lost his power. Some people said that wasn't enough. Maybe they're right. But I know this. He will never drag another person onto the pavement and tell them to stop resisting when all they're resisting is his ego. Inner voice, the badge didn't make him a monster. It just let him be one in public. Now it's just metal. This was Vigilante Case, File 04. Right now, somewhere, someone with a badge, or a title, or a key, is using it to hurt people instead of protecting them. And somewhere in this city, I am watching. One of them will be my next file.